Alright, we're starting outside today because it never gets like this. I live in Canada, kind of northwestern Canada, and like it's 38 degrees or something right now, and it's 10 o'clock at night, so that just kind of doesn't happen. That's like 115 or something for you Americans out there. So we're starting the vlog outside today. We're talking about running live tracks. So I was in a band that never ran tracks, and then I was a band that only ran mono tracks through an iPod or something like that back in the day, but I'll show you how to do that too. But today I'm talking about running stereo tracks and what I do to run stereo tracks live. I don't want to go inside, but I will. I'm doing it for you guys. I'll go grab my gear, I'll run through the whole setup. I'll even maybe draw you a little diagram so you can see how the cabling works, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of things. So yeah, let's go inside, we'll dive in. I'm in my jammies, look at these slippers. Whatever, it's hot. Alright, to make me do this, I gotta go into the garage and lug in this big case. The things I do for you. But I love you. Okay, I'll be right back. Dear God. Don't worry, you don't need everything that's in here. It's just a couple things, but let's go downstairs. It's this way. Alright, let's put you in the ring light area. Here's the rundown of everything you might need to run stereo tracks. You're gonna need... Alright guys, so let's just jump right in. Here's a quick overview of what I'm going to be doing today. So essentially I'm going to be creating an instrumental that works for me. So I have all the stems sent to me from my producer. I'm going to make an instrumental mix, taking out some of the elements that I won't be needing, and then alongside that I'm going to be building a click for my drummer and my band to play with, as well as a count and some sort of indication of what the key is for the track. So let's start there.
Let me show you what I have going on here. So what I've done so far is I've taken all my stems from my producer. As you can see here, there's all the drums, all the vocals, and I've just gone through and like these are all backup vocals. This is the lead vocal. So I've just like muted a lot of stuff that I know I'm not going to need. Like for example, a lot of the guitars. I don't have a keyboard player, so I put all my keys in there. Obviously, I'm going to mute things like the bass, guitar, and kind of a lot of some of the acoustics. I've turned the acoustics way down just to kind of get the attack of them. But anyway, whatever you want to get for you is cool. You just have to go through and make a cool mix. So here's sort of what this tune sounds like with just what I need. Obviously, you know, really empty, so that's perfect. It fills in the gaps of what I have going on. So the other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a click ready to rock. This is the click I like to play to. So I have, alongside the click, I have
roll with it.
My count.
1, 2, 3.
And an indicator of the key. So every song has the same type of intro on it that helps signify exactly how the song's going to start and what key we're in. So what you're going to be wanting to do is you're going to want to bounce down one track, a stereo track, starting at the exact same spot that has just the music. That stuff. And then the other stereo track you want to bounce in the pair is this one.
Roll with it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So that's the click, count, and key track. And essentially what's going to be happening is you're going to be putting these files into your Roland SPD-SX, and they have to be exactly the same length. They have to start at exactly the same point, and you'll load both of these waves into your device, and when you trigger the device, it'll start both songs at the same time exactly. And then there's 4 different outputs, but I'll show you that on the machine in just a second. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bounce all this music down, and I'll show you what the Roland SPD-SX looks like and what the outputs are like and how you set it up. And we'll head over to our next piece of software. All right, here we go.
This is what it looks like. This is what the Roland SPD-SX looks like. It's got 9 pads, just a ton of controls on it that are really easy to work. You don't have to really touch any of them though. I do everything in the computer. I set it all up that way. There is an important little kill switch right there, which is a good thing to know about. But here's the thing that I really wanted to show you are the outputs here. So you're going to be using essentially 4 outputs. The main outputs, this is where your tracks are going to come out, left and right, and then your click and your count. You can make them whatever you want, but I usually do click left, count right. So you have your master out and your sub out, and that's where all your cabling is going to come from. I'll tell you this now before I load everything in this. Yeah, your tracks will come out of your master out, going to your monitor feed and to front of house, and the click and count, obviously just going to your monitor feed. And that's pretty much it. So let's jump into the software here. You need to download something called SPDSX Editor. All right, let's dig into that here. Okay, so we are in. This is the SPDSX Editor. There is a software that I think comes with the Roland, or you can get off the Roland site, but it's no good. You don't want that one. And you can edit everything actually in the device as far as the hardware routing and stuff, but don't do that either. Just get the SPDSX editor. It's so easy. It's the only way I even attempt to put stuff on this thing or change things. So yeah, I'll go over a couple things first. So first of all, let's make a new kit. So the way I set it up is that each kit is a different song. And so my drummer will play a song on a kit, and then when the song is done, he hits a button that changes it to the next track, and we start the next one. So it's easy. He really only uses 3 pads on this thing, and I have a couple pads loaded with some sound effects and stuff for fun, but typically we're just stop, start, and next are our only commands that I'm giving this thing to run our stereo tracks. So what you want to do first of all is make a new kit. Like this. I'm going to call this one Roll With It, because that's the song title. Oh, it doesn't really happen. Oh yeah, usually I'll put like a number first depending on where I want it to go in the set. So this is number 7. Roll with that. Yeah, and so what you want to do here is, since we're going to have I hope you can see my mouse clicking here, but this top left pad is where I'm going to load my click and my count, and this middle pad on the top is where I'm going to load my tracks. So I want to make sure that when I hit that, both of these start at the same time. So I'm going to go pad 1 and pad 2. Those are going to be the linked pads. So let's start with adding some files here. So over here I have the song in F sharp. I have 2 versions of it, but I'm going to use the F sharp version for this example. So we'll grab the click and just drag it over. So easy. Usually takes a second. It's like, I think I have like a billion waves in here, so it's you know, it's just a tiny little computer brain. Just give it some time. Come on. There we go. And then I'll put the tracks on pad 2. So now I got both pads, both waves loaded into this kit so far. So I'm going to make sure that this one also knows that pad 1 and pad 2 are connected. Oh, I unnamed my thing. Damn it. Okay. Now, there's a couple other things you want to do. So you want to turn loop off. So this is a function where if the song ends, it starts over again. You don't want that when you're in the middle of a live show. Trigger type, you want Alt. That way, if you hit the trigger, it starts it, and if you hit it again, it stops it. So it's a start and a stop button. If you had it on shot, it would always just keep starting, like it would just plow over itself, so that's no good. You don't want that either. Dynamics, you want off. Doesn't matter how hard you hit the pad, you want the track to always play the same volume. Poly out, that's fine. And so, with this one, my click and my count, which is the top left pad there, that's going to be my sub out. So that's the first set of outputs on the back that I showed you earlier. So that looks all good for this pad. I'm going to save it. I'm gonna go over to my tracks pad, and that's set on the master out, so that's great. But I also have to go back and still make sure that dynamics are off. It's on Alt, and the rest of that all looks good. Save. I'm also going to make note that this is the version of the song that is in F sharp. And that's it. There. I saved it. I added it. So now, let's see if I can do this without... Here, I'm going to bring you guys over here. So, here's what I'm looking at. SPDSX. I've got it all loaded in there. I've made some markings on the top here, so my drummer can hit either of these pads to start and stop our tracks. And I've set it up so this pad scrolls to the next kit. So he doesn't have to mess around with any of these controls in here. It's just whack, starts the song, and if he needs to stop it for some reason, whack, stops it, whack, goes to the next song. So really, really easy, and that's it, that's done. Oh, and do yourself a favor and make yourself a cable like this. Just a little whip with 4 ends on each side. I have my my yellow ones are my click and count, and my red and white are my stereo tracks. Just makes your life a lot easier. Also, get one of these. This is just a clip so you can put this thing on cymbal stands, hi-hat stands, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, pro tip.